Yeah, so now Kenya is not off the hook either, though. So my criticism for Kenya and Sheree is Kenya and Sheree yelling at Sanya for leaving them that morning. Because, they were late and she had to leave to go to work. Yes, work. So Sanya was working in Jamaica, unlike the rest of her co-house. They were basically being beach bums. To basically say it, So, yeah. Most of her co-hosts were being beach bums. And so this is Kenya, and this is Sheree. So, and the rest of them were being beach bums too, but So, yeah, so that's Kenya and Sheree, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that, blah, blah, that, watching the cat surf, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I love Jamaica. On the other hand, Sanya was actually working in Jamaica, unlike the rest of her co-hosts, like I was saying. So, yeah, this is what's really going on here. And so, but Kenya and Sheree would not let it go. I'm like, look, guys, yes, Sanya is working in Jamaica, and, they're really like Kenya and, Kenya here, and Sanya, the beach bums here, this la 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 la, looking at the cat surf and everything like that every day. We're really expecting Sanya to say, oh, hold on to the people that hired her. I have to wait for my two beach bum friends. I have to wait for my two beach bum friends. So I'm not going to go and rush off to work today because I'm waiting for them to finally realize, okay, a cat cannot really surf. They were drinking too much wine, perhaps, maybe. Just joking there. But this is my criticism, I really felt as though Sanya was getting, too much heat for really having to leave and make it to work that day. And, so I didn't really like that, Sanya was getting all that heat. Kenya and Sheree were not letting it go. And it went to the point that at dinner that same night, Sanya's husband had to stand up and say, stop talking to my wife like that, basically, Really. And I thought it was kind of funny, that Sanya's husband stood up like that, because, a little bit of a sidebar. Is Sanya's husband going to be another Peter Thomas, who straightens the ladies out and feels as though he deserves to have a peach too? Just asking about that because, I don't know, he might be one of those again, which is always in a lady's business, feels like, like all the other guys was like just sitting there and letting the girls just hash it out. But he's like, he stood up, he says, don't talk to my wife like that. Okay, now back to the verbal lashing that was against Sanya, which I don't approve of it. So after Sanya's husband commented, like, don't talk to my wife like that, it was quiet for, about a second. Then Drew, sweet little Drew, chimed in. And, was like, yeah, she chimed in like, a doorbell. She came knocking, chiming in and talking, saying her real verbal lashes against Sanya. And I was like, enough, guys. I really was just feeling like that. Like, just thinking to myself, this is enough, You guys are just being too hard, on Sanya. And so I was like, I really felt like, just basically screaming at the TV and, wanted to say, stop it. It's enough. Give her a break because she had to go to work. Okay? So, moving on from that, let's move on to point number 4. Which is, through research. Okay, now let me just put on my professor and scholar research hat, because this is another teachable moment. Okay, yes. So through research, I found some things. I have to show the shoes. Yes, the whole outfit. Okay, professor moment. Yeah. So point number 4. Want to be the professor here and the scholar moment. So this is a teachable moment, guys, also. Okay, so through research, I found some things out. But before I go into that, let me just say that I give this episode 5 stars. 5 stars, because this episode, it really just kept bringing it, Unlike episode number 13, which was like, okay, I'm bored, I had jet lag, because it was like, okay, we know they traveled to Jamaica. What else is going to be seen in this episode? Referring to episode number 13. But this episode, I gave it 5 stars. I love the dancing on the cruise ship with Kenya and Sheree and the other couple and various other moments, and I thought it was great. And that's why I gave this episode 5 stars. Okay. All right, now, through research, I found that the place that they call the Devon House, when they stopped and they got the ice cream and things of that sort, allegedly it was built in 1881. And it was a residence for someone named George Stibel, who lived there between 1820 and, not 1820, around 1896 he left. And it was basically named after George Stibel, who was Jamaica's first millionaire. That is a black man. He gained his wealth elsewhere, then moved back to Jamaica and lived in that house that they now call the Devon House. So that's a little bit of research for that. Also, George Stibel, held the appointment of Costos, a high position with civic duties in Jamaica. So he was actually, a big person there that did a lot of stuff there in Jamaica, who was originally from Jamaica, made money elsewhere, came back, and he had the high civic position, which was appointment over Costos, of Costos. Also, through research, I found that allegedly the first Jamaican to win a gold medal was also the first Olympic multi-medalist, meaning that, okay, the first Jamaican that won a gold medal there, he also won more than one medal, the first person to ever win more than one medal at the same time. And his name was Arthur Went. He achieved both a gold medalist and a multi-medalist in 1948. He won a men's 400 meters, and he won a gold medal for that. How he became a multi-medalist is that he also won the men's 800 meters, and he had a silver medal for that. So both medals were won in 1948 when the Olympics were held in London. And so that is my research moment for you, and my scholar moment, and professor moment. Yes. Okay. Now, my 5th point and my final point is always, love. Because after all, this is the Binti Love Podcast review. And so it's always about love. And I'm your host, Binti Love. Make sure to subscribe, guys. Okay, so my 5th point is I loved it. I thought it was so cute when Drew and Candy. Okay, so this is Drew. You remember she hurt her foot, and this is Candy. Yeah, so when Candy decided to stay behind with Drew after she Drew hurt her foot, And, she just stayed in the hotel. Candy stayed in the hotel with Drew. I thought it was so nice of her. The others went out, they had fun. But, I think it was nice that, like a real sister, Kenya stayed behind with Drew. Candy stayed behind with Drew. And they were just going over acting lines together. And so Drew started teaching Candy her acting techniques. And, I really love when women bond and get along, because for me, remember, this is supposed to be a show about housewives and women bonding and supporting each other. So I really love the fact that, in between the fighting and all the rest of it, when you see a sisterhood, which took place there in Jamaica between Drew and Candy, I feel like they kind of like really are becoming friends, and they supported each other. They were by each other's side when Drew's bad foot was, acting up again. And, I thought that was really, really nice. And I really think this is what we really watched, these type of shows with women about. It's about the bonding. It's about, them being able to not always argue, but support one another. And I thought that was a very, very nice, beautiful moment. Okay. So, as I said, the 5th point always ends on love. After all, this is the Binti Love Podcast. I'm your host, Binti Love. Make sure, again, to subscribe. Subscribe. Also comment below and tell me exactly what you think about this episode and this review. Okay? Bye, guys.